Hello, hello. And we're back. Let me get my main screen up. Right, yo. I hope the music's not too loud. It kind of sounds loud in my ear. Definitely unmuted as well. Okay, good. Right. Where did we end? Well, I did a bit of work last night. And I've done most of the UVs on the organ, which is going to be placed in our beautiful church environment. We've still got to do the back of it with all the pipes, but that'll be part of a different texture. We'll have one texture map for the main organ itself, and we'll have another one for the pipes at the back. This is quite a large object. Do I still have that? Yes, I do. So we do have the high poly done. Should be nice to, which we will use to bake. What am I saying? I can't even get my words right today. I still have a bit of a scratchy throat, so forgive me if I sound a bit croaky. I've basically UV'd all the other sections. I've literally just got to finish this one piece, and then we can chuck it in Marmoset, where we can do a bit of magic. And then from there, if everything is okay, we put it into Substance and we start painting. I think there's a bit of cleanup to do on here. I can see some sort of issue there. And I think there's a bunch of issues on the back. But I don't know if I'm too concerned about them. I'll have to double check them. Okay, let's just get to it. Yeah, forgive me if I cough a little bit. It literally just it's like I don't know what it is. Had it for the past couple days. It's just getting progressively worse. Right. I think I'm going to start by just collapsing the bevel first. There's definitely something on this side. Yeah, I don't actually, we didn't need to. Give me that bevel back. Let's get rid of these faces first. It's just going to be kind of hard. Or we just split the element. We don't need any of these. None of that. Might be able to simplify this as well. Which is pretty easy to do. How do I want to do it? I think I'll just put everything in that one corner. I think it was Console or someone asked me to show keystrokes on Blender. I have no idea how to display what I'm pressing. I haven't a clue how to do that. So if you are wondering what I'm doing or what I'm pressing to do all these things, I mean, I'll try to explain. Like I press M, which is the merge. So I've selected all these points. I selected the last one, merge. I want to merge it to the last point, and it just drags everything to the last point. And now all those are welded to this one vertex here. So do the same. Select them all, merge to last. I'm going to do that again. Merge. So M to last. Sweet. That should, yeah. Okay, there's a little bit that's poking up at the top. All we're going to do is just put a cut line down the middle. We'll just drag those two bits down here. So it's hidden. That'll do. What else do I need to clean on this? I don't know if this side is shown. think that's on. Actually, half of it is at least. I think I'll keep it then. For the sake of it. Flip this. Yeah, so on the back here, there's some gaps. Pressing all the wrong buttons today. Awful gaps. And I think I know why. It's because these edges are beveled. Let's double check this. It's not. Just gonna move them down so they nest in here. This one is wrong. If I can just select it all. How can I do this properly? I don't need all this. It's awful. It's so easy to make so many mistakes when you've got so many bits to like look out for. Like that plane as well, it's really annoying me. Is that the one? Yes. Yes, it is. Got it. Just fix this end of it. I think the other end as well. I do it by edge. You need some sort of screencast keys add-on. I'll have to have a look for that. Screencast. That's for Blender itself. Play mouse and key. I mean, there's one here that's showing it costs 70. That's really not that much money, actually. It's like 70 cents. There's one on GitHub as well. I think that's the same one. It's a file. I always hate getting stuff off GitHub. I just never know where to click. Add-on version. Blender's installation tool. Oh, it's here. I can see it. We don't need the source code. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. I've just got my web browser open on the other screen. I do not like... I don't know. Because I'm streaming, I'm always self-conscious of, like, what I do show, what I don't show. Not like I'm hiding anything. You never know. Preferences, add-ons, install. What was it called? Screencast. Install. See if this works. Doesn't seem to work. Maybe I've done it wrong. I think we'll have to say I tried. You've released. This is the latest version that I had. Do I have to do something else? It's enabled. It's not working though. Oops. That's a shame. I'll have to figure it out some other time. Otherwise I'll spend half the stream trying to install one plugin. Right, let's just fix all these gaps on this mesh. Then we can start marking the seams. What's up with this? Oh, I'm on edge. Maybe on vertex, really. There we go. Just double check everything. I mean, it looks fine. I don't see any gaps. I don't see anything that's jumping out at me. We need our edge tool. Oh, the fun part. Now we need to like define. If no one's familiar with like, I think you need to enable it right under the menu. Oh really? Oh shoot! Yeah, I see it. Okay, so I have to just click that, right? Oh, here we go. We're working. We're working. There you go. You can see me. All right. Thank you, console. All right. There you go. You can see exactly what I'm doing now. Actually, that's really cool. Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks for suggesting that. That's actually really nice for people to see. Because I do get like 1,000,000 miles an hour. I feel like Blender to me is like, it's got to a point now where I'm so fluid with it and I have like this rhythm and I just do stuff. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like music. It just kind of, I've kind of got to that point now where I've got this groove where I don't really need to think, I just sort of do. It's like when you're writing, do you really subconsciously think about it? You sort of just do it, don't you? Right, we're just going to mark. I was about to explain why I'm selecting these edges exactly. If you think back in like school where you probably did a lesson where you had to like unfold a cube and then fold it back up. I mean, essentially that's what I have to do here. So if you flatten a cube and you've got like basically like 3 squares that fold round and 2 on the side, and is it 3? It's probably more than that. I'm essentially doing the same thing here. So where all the cut lines are, just to lay it out all flat on a 2D texture. This is quite finicky because I'm like, I've got bits in between bits here. So I might have to separate them just to work with it. Do like a piece at a time, even though it's part of a bigger piece. Yeah, that one's okay. This one? Do this one. I'm selecting these edges at the bottom that wrap around here. So that will be one flat piece as part of the texture. Mark. Want these edges too. Mark these. These as well. Actually, we'll do it this way around. I have actually installed a new plugin for packing UVs. This is UV Pack Master. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. What was the other one? There was definitely another one I was using. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's not Zen UV, but it's something else. I haven't tried Zen UV either, so I've got a couple. But I do want to try Packmaster because I saw someone post a clip using Packmaster, and I was pretty impressed how it packed the UVs. It looked really good. I was like, that's amazing. I want it. I think it's like a GPU accelerated one as well. Right. How many more pieces have I got? I can hide this one. Another one at the back here. Oh, no, we've got that one. We've done that one. We can separate them so they can just get out of the way. I know you can hide elements and stuff with H. I think it's you select them, you press H, but then I always forget how to unhide them. It's like Control H, Shift H. And when you got so many hotkeys in your brain, I don't know, it just overloads it. People say like, oh yeah, you just press this and you can do that. And I'm like, I'll never remember it. Unless I use it every day, I'll never remember it. That's the dilemma. This bit here is a bit... Do you know what? We can just select one of these. And then it will just flatten the whole thing. This looks wrong. What's up with that? Hell... It's very wrong. Range. Well, like I was saying yesterday, when you're crawling all over your mesh and you're looking at every single bit in great detail, you just notice like where you just bug it up. And this is your time to correct it. I wouldn't want to correct it later on. I've had that. You finish the mesh, you bake it, you start painting it, and you're like, that looks really good, and then you notice like one thing, like a smoothing error, or something wrong with the topology or something. You're like, no, I don't want to go all the way back, re-UV it, and then probably have to repaint it and do all the. It's like. That's just a nightmare situation, and at that point you kind of have to think, is it worth it? Will somebody else see that? Is it worth going back? Most of the time I'm like, I don't really want to. Right. Quite a few of these, but once these are marked up, we can start unwrapping it, and then we can see if I've done a good job or not. My gut feeling says no. There'll always be something. There always is. just a human. People make mistakes. We just need to identify those mistakes. We could cut out these in between bits. They just seem like a waste. Do that and that. I'm only doing this because you won't be able to see it. We might be able to weld this all. Might be able to weld this all together. Just so there's no gaps, or if it crunches the model later on in the engine, it won't create holes. That can happen because these are two elements that aren't welded together, and if it's trying to cut vertices or triangles, it might create some holes. So wherever you can, wherever it's necessary, you can weld it, and it can prevent that. Most of the time anyway. When you decimate a mesh though so much, it can absolutely destroy its silhouette. I mean, Nanite does a really good job at it's almost like a non-destructive LOD, where it is crunching the polygons, but you just, honestly, if you're not really looking for it, you don't see it. It's almost like it doesn't have LODs. It does such a good job. Now you just hope to God that they're all correctly positioned. I'm just sort of glancing with my eye to see if they're on each other. It looks like they are. It's really nice to see. Go. Might have to put some cut lines on it as well, some seams, I mean, for the UV, if I do weld it. We'll see how it unwraps, and if I, maybe I do actually. Probably will actually. I'm sort of internalizing my brain right now. It just feels like I'm talking to myself, reassuring myself what I need to do. Sometimes I find myself doing that. We're going to add the cut lines here. Since I've welded it together, maybe you want a different bit of grain of wood there, or let's offset from the rest so it does look separate. Ooh, here's a mistake. There you go, there's a mistake. We just need to weld these two together. And I think on the other side as well. Oh no, we're good. We're all right. We've got it, we've got it. Think. Might have to get rid of these ones as well. See how we're adapting now. So I marked these ones at the top. We don't need them anymore. Oh, it's so annoying. It's like, oh yeah, you just changed your mind halfway through. This isn't welded either. This doesn't feel like it's welded down here. It looks like it is. Yeah, we're good. This one doesn't though. For some reason. It's welded there. Aha. You can sort of see it because it's not smoothing incorrectly. I think for this piece, we'll allow the normal map to correct the smoothing. If that works. If it doesn't work, then I'll come back here and smooth it correctly. Because sometimes you can get something that's like this. It kind of looks like it's a bowl, but it's actually just a hard edge. But then when you bake a normal map on it, it can correct that, so it looks like a hard edge again, depending on what your high poly looks like, because it is projecting onto it. If that makes sense. You'll see. You'll all see once I put it in Marmoset and we start doing that. If everything goes right, you'll see. Otherwise, it'll be a day of jumping back and forth. I hope it goes right first time, so we can go into Substance Painter. I still feel like there's some bits on here that... No, but it looks fine. Okay, we can get rid of these now. These seam lines. This one. This one. Oh, let's get rid of those first. So we clear the seam. We're going to get rid of these ones as well. And clear this seam. Alright. On one side, we've got to do the bottom now. Should be pretty easy. I think there's some that aren't welded, just like the other side. It's hard to tell. We'll know eventually, though. When something looks really screwed up, when we try to unwrap, we'll identify it, we'll isolate it, and we'll figure out why. And it's usually just like a vert is out of place, or a seam is incorrect, or is not in the right place. But it will come clear if there's any issues. Let's see if we get it first time. Where's this end? That looks fine. Okay. I think I've got it right now. And bring all our other pieces back in. I can just put them all back together. Into one. Into one. I say that. Come on. I'll have to be off this, don't I? We can reset all the transforms as well. Give it a good save. UV. Just select the whole mesh. Look at the horrible UV it's given me so far. I'm just going to unwrap. Now, this doesn't look correct. That's definitely not correct. So we didn't get it first time. What's this? So what I can do is I can click here. It says UV sync selection. So I usually click that if I want to isolate something in this view, and we can have a closer inspection. So I'll press L to select this element, and then we're going to press the point or del key. I don't think you can see my keys when I got UV edited open, unfortunately. I need to figure out why. Why is it like that? There must be... Yeah, it must be on the top then. Let me just isolate this whole bit. Go back to the layout. Hide that. Yeah, there's something seriously broken up here. What is that? Let's put that over there. God, that looks horrendous. We'll just fix it. The wire was so broken. What on earth was going on there? I think it was after I put the bevel modifier on. Like I I crunched it down. It must have just destroyed all these little verts here. Because like that's like an impossible Engon. We want it all to go to this point. So let's put it up there and get rid of that face. See, half the time I use hotkeys for this is 1, 2, and 3. Like 1, 2, 3. See those change? Sometimes I just go up there and click it. I don't know. It's just like half my brain wants to use the hotkeys, half my brain doesn't. That's fine. That's why the buttons are there, right? You don't need to memorize all these keys. But it does make your life a lot easier if you know as many hotkeys as possible. But it's just retaining them. You'll probably use it once and then forget it. Tab is a nice one though. Let's go. Right, let's try that again, yeah? Select it all. We'll just unwrap it all again. Now we just need to double check that none of this is forked. We could. These look a bit. As it text tools is a really good one. I don't know if we want to do that actually. It's kind of breaking it. So some of them are like slightly bent like this. I know you can kind of keep the shape if you want, but sometimes I just like to straighten them out. Using the rectify tool to make them nice and straight. I think these ones kind of break when I do that though. So I think I'll leave those. That's supposed to be like that. Yeah. Pretty good. Now, need to unhide all our elements. Because now we need to pack it. God, there's a lot of elements in this. So many pieces. Oh my lord. Right. I think some of these got... No, we've collapsed them. I'm going to just double check that I haven't got anything else other than weighted normal in these modifiers just quickly. Because, see, this one's a mirror. We want to keep... I think we want both of them separate, so we'll collapse the mirror. What's this array here? Okay, we've hidden it. It's fine. It's this one. Ah, we can get rid of that, actually. Where was that? Just going through it, just quickly. What's this mirror? Okay, we can get that mirrored up. Oh, won't let me go down. Still won't let me go down. Come on. There we go. Still not really. Oh, it is. Oh! First crash of the day. Going too fast for Blender. Damn it, we have to double check. See. Make sure you save your work. I save every second. Control S. Do it. Because you could be working hours and it could just close without warning because of a silly thing that you did, and it's just a nightmare. Painting today when I need to go in an hour. Well, you can rewatch it when it's, what do you call it? Is it called a VOD? God, I sound like an old man. You call it a VOD? Video on demand. Is that what it is? Or what the cool kids call it? Wow, look at that. We have to pack all of that into one square, and we're going to try using UV Packmaster 3. And I've never used this before. I usually use UV Packer, which I really like, but today we're going to use UV Packer 3 and just see how it, we'll just see how it goes. I'm literally just going to press this button. So single tile packing, which we want, and we just want to pack it. I don't have any trims on here, so sometimes I will make like a trim which can extend beyond. I don't really have an example of that. It's if you want to do a tileable on a strip, you could just tile it once here and then just extend the rest of the mesh beyond the square. I don't know why I'm explaining that now, because it's irrelevant, because we're not doing that today. Right, let's pack. Ooh, hello. I don't like how tight it is. I think I can change that in the margin here. But that is pretty good. I know some people like putting certain elements in one corner, like all this is made of metal, and all this is made of wood, and all this is made of, you know, I don't think you really need to do that. I'm just lazy, I think. Can we change the margin though? Oh, that's better. That's incredible. That's actually incredible. Let's lower that margin just slightly. The reason to have this margin, though, say, I'll make this a 4K texture. If someone wants to down-res that to, say, 1K, you might not have enough, you might have a bit of overlap here. Like, the resolution crunches it in such a way that you could, like, have two materials that overlap, and then you'll get, like, some weird errors. Because it kind of, like, blurs everything. I don't know how else to explain it. It will just say like this piece and this piece will kind of overlap if they're too close to each other. Yeah, it does look tidy, doesn't it? That looks really good. I'm so surprised. That's like magic. It's almost used like, you know, it's used as much as it can. That's flipping out. I'm using this going forward. The only thing I didn't find with this tool is because UV Packer you can pin stuff. I haven't found that on this. I know there's a way of like if you put pack to others. So if you select like some of these, you can pack it around stuff. I don't know how to articulate that in like such a way that sounds clever, but you can pack it around stuff. Right, let's I think we'll go with that. Maybe I'll do it one more time just to watch the magic again. Flipping out, that's so good. Beautiful. Something could have gone in there. I want let's oh, it hasn't packed everything. I haven't selected everything. Let me do one thing before I, just in case, just reset the rotations and scales just in case it's not scaled weirdly. Let's try it again. I missed half the model. That's better. Yeah, now we got the legs in there. And the sides. You know what? We don't want that back to be taking up all our UV space, do we? It doesn't. That's really broken. Because that's so small when it shouldn't be so small. Fixed scale. Do not scale during packing. It needs to scale to the correct size though. That's not right. I wonder if I do... Let's pack it with UV Packer so it like makes the scales correct. Yeah, those look more correct. And then go back to Packmaster and click Fix Scale. Okay. Still a bit buggered. I was once impressed and now I'm disappointed. Now why is that? No space to pack all islands. Oh, because of the fixed scale. Okay. We can select these pieces. We can shrink it by, let's say, 40%. I'm only doing this because no one is going to see the back of this thing. Think. I want to fix the scale. Did that do it? It did. I think that's the back there. It did do it. God, that's quite small, isn't it, for something that's quite big? How else can I save? I'm wondering if I should just... the ones that are, like, mirrored. You literally just duplicate them. Because if I put, like, a checker map on it... really not a huge amount of texture space. Because it's so, like, intricate and there's so many pieces to it. I wonder how that will look. See, now I'm just thinking, like, how can we maximize how much resolution we get out of this? Because I think we could just have one, we bake one of these, and then we just mirror it. Same with this end. Same with this. And same with this. So then we have, you know, almost double the room for those pieces, essentially. Let's do that. I think that's wise. Are you doing the buttons and keys separate? Yeah, I am. I am actually, yeah. I'm doing all the keys and the buttons and stuff. They're all separate pieces. So we only do one of those. It does have a lot of text on them in real life, but I just don't see it being worth, you know, saving so much, just losing so much texture space for them. So we'll just make them very generic looking. Right, let's sort this out first. Yeah, no one's going to read them. Yeah. You'll just get like that organ expert though. Complaining, won't you? This isn't correct. That's not how it is in real life. No one's going to read them. Surely not. Ooh, we can get rid of this one as well. And I wonder if we do the same with this bench. So we get rid of this and this. I need to separate that element, and I need to make sure I do this with the high poly as well. And we'll do it with this as well. Or should I? Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it. So that maybe free up some space for us. See how much more empty space there is, which can be filled? Let's pack it with this first. It's really not behaving, is it? There we go. And then we want to lower the resolution of this. because that's don't want it to take up that much space. Say by 40% will do. Fixed scale. Off the fixed scale. That's better. I think it's better. It's certainly looking better. I really want to get this right because I really don't want to come back to this again. Which is why I'm taking my time to just scrutinize it the way I am. Right, let's try that. Let's roll with that. We need to double check our high poly, to be honest. Turn off that because we got rid of some bits on here, so we don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Was it this? It was this. And this. Then we need to separate this and this. We need to delete this. Oh, and this leg here as well. I think we're good to... Ooh, what's that? Okay. Excuse me, hold on a second. Oh my god, you didn't put the text on the Organ Master 3000? Yeah, right? I mean, I feel like someone's going to put their nose against it and be like, man, this is incorrect. But it's a lot of work, but it pays off. Yeah, I mean, if you put that little bit extra detail in things, that's what makes it look bloody gorgeous, you know? That's what convinces you in the end. It is a lot of extra work, but this is probably the most complicated mesh. I'd say this is even more complicated than the building itself. I mean, buildings are pretty straightforward once you get the scales and stuff correct. But well, actually, the stairs were a nightmare to do. Actually, that was painful. But these you'll use like tilables, which is really nice. So you really retain like super high detail because you can just tile it as much as you want. But yeah, this is definitely one of the more complicated pieces that I'm putting in here, and I really don't know why I've gone the extra mile for this one, but screw it, I have. I've done it now. I'm here now. I'm going to use my preset. This is going to be... It's going to be my organ high poly. Let me export that. Yeah, I wish I had the time because you make stuff look really amazing. Another thing I noticed is your buildings don't leak light, but I guess that's your map work knowledge, etc. Whereas a lot of others do leak light. You know, it's a good question. I think it comes down to like how you light it for one, and then like how much thickness there is between things, which can cause, because I've had light leaking. It's always an issue. I'm surprised this is done. This is pretty watertight. Watertight? Is that a right word for it? I don't know how you describe light leaking, but this one's surprisingly done. I've seen none, which is really good. But yeah, it can happen. But I'm pretty sure it comes down to like how close it is to like the outside wall. Sometimes if it's too thin, you'll get that bleeding effect. This one's just gone off without a hitch. You know, this is someone also drew my attention to. I can't remember what it's called now. Is it Lumen? Surface cache. So if you go up here, you go lit, you go Lumen. If you're using Lumen, you go surface cache. Now anything marked purple, it's just not going to be calculated in the GI. Same with anything. I think some things that are yellow, I think they're like movables or something like that, or they're just not calculated at this moment. Usually it's like animated, like these mannequins, I think because they're skeletal meshes, they don't get calculated. But you want as least purple as possible. And if you do see purple, then you have to like separate it or make it less complex. Usually just separating it from whatever element it's part of fixes that. So then it will appear in the GI calculation, and it will also appear in the reflections. That's why I have these they're not disco balls, but these balls, these chrome balls, they just help me see like, oh yeah, that's how the reflections look, which affects the whole lighting of the scene. So if you find that your interiors are too dark, that might be the reason. You can like fake it and combat it with like the post-processing. I always put a post-processing inside a building. So this one's like going around the main hall. And that gives me control on the inside, so I can change like the exposure values a little bit, so I can brighten up the light that's coming in, as opposed to like what's outside. So there's one that's outside that's completely different, and then there's a few inside that are different as well, depending on the room and the kind of effect that I want to go for. That makes sense. And also I use a different type of reflection capture in here. I think this is using hit lighting, which is more accurate, whereas outside is using the surface cache, I think. I can't remember what it's called, which is less accurate. But I mean, when you're in a wide open space, you know, maybe you want it to run a bit better, and then you would use that type of reflection as opposed to the hit lighting one, because the hit lighting one is so much more demanding, but you get much more accurate reflections. I don't think Lumen really likes mirror-like surfaces, because you get a lot of this splodgy kind of look, because it's literally just mirroring the fake world, which is your surface cache. This is what Lumen sees. So yeah, I kind of miss like the brute force like ray tracing stuff. That stuff just does not work anymore. But you can use... Nah, I mean, if you're doing like renders, you can use the path tracer, can't you? And it just brute forces like some beautiful render, but it doesn't work with nanite, so you have to disable nanite. Anyway, I'm talking about rendering too much. We gotta go back to baking, otherwise this organ will never get done. Let me read what I'm missing. Yeah, it's definitely those. Your houses are brilliant. Yeah, thank you, man. I really want this church. I was hoping to get this church done before Christmas, but it feels like it's not getting done before Christmas, unfortunately. Just there's so much. I don't know. There's just so much I want to do to it, and I haven't even bothered doing all like the background kind of stuff, like collisions, like collision primitives. So then that will take like a week, and it's just oof. I'm just sort of kicking it down the road. I did that with my with the town stores pack. I put off doing the collisions for so long, and then it came to the point where I had to do them, and it was like a solid week of just making cubes around everything in Blender and exporting them and then double checking them, and it was a solid week, like 9 till 5, and it was painful, absolutely painful. Let me see what else she said. Yeah, we're using Lumen. Yeah, I mean everyone's using Lumen now, aren't they? You know so much more than me. I have so much to learn. See, I still feel like I don't know anything. I feel like every day I'm using this, I'm finding stuff out. I'm figuring stuff out. I'm still being taught. Um, I don't claim to be the expert of Blender. I don't claim to be an expert in Unreal Engine either. Um, but each day and each that I use it, I always find something that something new. And then there's new versions and there's new features and there's still more to learn. I mean, there's that whole procedural generation stuff. I've only used it on and off, but I haven't found a real use case for it yet. But it's such a powerful tool. I mean, for this, I think I made like a little grass tool, which is out here, which is like these lines. It just spawns from grass on the ground using PCG. Ignore the landscape material. That's still a work in progress landscape material. It's a bit screwed up at the moment. I don't really have time to make shaders and materials right now. Yeah, they're still learning stuff, is my bottom line here. So don't feel like you know nothing, because I also know nothing. Maybe this stream will like pass some knowledge onto people on, you might hear something that I say and I'm just saying it off the cuff. You might go, oh, that's how you do it. And that can be useful. What else are you saying? What else are you saying? Path tracing is mental. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I was going to ask another thing. I imagine out of the box the houses are 4K. Is that too hard to make them 2K? You mean the texture maps? The texture maps I do, they always keep at the highest quality, which is 4. I always keep it at 4K. That's my ceiling. But if you want a lower resolution of a texture, you literally just open the texture. Can I open this one? And it's in here somewhere. See, it says maximum texture size. If that's 0, it'll be the maximum texture size. So it says max in-game, displayed, imported. So I import it at 4K and then I'll leave it at 4K. But if your game requires to lower some resolution in these textures, you can do it in Engine. You can put in here. So if I want it 1K, which is 1024, and press OK, it shrinks it to 1K. So in-game, max in-game, 1K. And that'll display to 1K. So you can reduce your VRAM usage that way. But I give people the imported 4K resolution version. So the pack is future-proof, for one. And, not everyone's game, requires 4K. But if they want it, you can have it. It's better to go down. You can't go up. You know what I mean? You can't go up, you can only go down. So I give them the highest quality one. But it does mean you have to go around author your textures. You have to double check things. But this all comes into like an optimization pass. You probably need a guy. We used to have a guy when I worked on Miscreated. We had one guy look over absolutely every texture, every model, and then they would question the hell out of it. And it's kind of a stickler of a job. No one really likes that kind of person to do that, because they're just saying, oh, that's too high resolution. And you're like, no, it's not. But you need to like manage some things like that, especially if you're making a game where you want to hit a certain target of a performance target. But that's the easiest way to do it. It's always good to have it higher rather than lower, because like I said, you can only go one direction with that. So 2K will be a sweet spot. Well, I mean, you could probably like you could keep like, say, the base color a higher resolution, and then you can just lower, say, the normal map to a point where you say, oh, I can't notice the difference, or I start noticing it being really just terrible. I'm trying not to swear on this stream. Keep it family friendly. It's like 11 o'clock in the morning. So you could keep like a high resolution base color, then you could probably take a normal map down to 1K. It just really depends. Really, 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 really does. Depends on your target, but I'll just do it where you put it as low as possible, but it keeps its visual integrity. That's all I can recommend. Right, let me just take a sip of water. That was a lot of explaining. We'll have to chat when you have some time. I don't want to take your stream up. It's fine. I mean, that's what this is for, really. At least I have something to talk about. Otherwise, I mean, I'm talking about what I'm doing, but you know, it's nice to just jump in. You ask me something, and I'll try to answer it as best as I can, even if it does take up time from something else. I don't mind showing off whatever you want to see or whatever you want to ask. I mean, I'm not just parting my knowledge to you, I'm parting it to everybody else in here, or anybody else that will watch it. So yeah. Right, where was I? We're jumping to Marmoset. I exported the high, exported the low. We're gonna bake this. I'm gonna put this in the oven. So I need to go to my organ folder. We've got high, we've got the low. We want to import that. So we'll open it. Just have a quick stretch. Looks like a sunny day today as well. Wish I could drag the office outside. Wow, there's a lot of pieces in here. Okay, we're just going to minimize this. I'm going to turn off one thing on the import. So when I select this, it says replace transforms on reload. I'm going to turn that off because sometimes I move pieces away, and then when I reload it, it goes back to where it was, and I hate that. It really annoys me. So we'll turn that off. Then we're going to put our piece of bread here, which is the bake. I'm going to put the low in the low, and the high in the high. And I do want to see the high, so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Then we just want to pull everything apart. I don't know how else to explain this. We want to pull as much as we want apart, to be honest. So I don't want this bench to kind of affect anything around it. So I'm going to have this bench, which is the bench HP. I need to find the bench low poly, which is here. No, it's not that one. God, this is awful. Bench. Bench. We want to move that out of the way. I think there's a way of doing this automatically if you name your stuff in a certain way. I've never tried it though. I think if you name these in a certain way, it will just automatically pull them apart or do like an exploding mesh on it. But I have no idea how to do that. I've never tried it. I just do it manually. Sometimes I feel like it will take longer for me to figure this out than me just doing it. So I just do it, which is probably not a good thing to live by. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, it's okay, Septic. It's all right. Just ask questions when you want, and I'll try and answer. It's absolutely fine. We want the pull handle. Yeah. Let's move this away a bit. I'm doing this because when it projects on to the texture, the meshes might affect each other in unexpected ways, and I honestly just don't want that to happen. Like, it might cause, like, there'll be like a shadow that's baked onto it or something. I just don't want to see that. Let's just move them apart. I should have moved them apart earlier, but I'm just gonna do it in here. It's fine doing it in here. What's this one? Bottom handle thing. Oh, these names. Thingamabob. Thingy-me-dee. I'll be listening while working. Got to learn some more. Haha. Yeah, no worries, mate. I hope the microphone feed is pretty good for you guys. I'm one of those people who just hate the sound of their own voice. So I really just don't like listening back on stuff. So if I do sound a bit quiet or something, I don't know what much more I can do. I've got the microphone in my face, haven't I? But Mike is amazing, and you sound sexy as ever. I don't think so, but thank you. I don't doubt the mic's amazing. I bought this like I look like a podcaster right now. I've got this flipping boom stick. I think it's called a boom. I don't know. What am I looking for? Label this one. Let's pull that away from there a little bit. I think this foot can move as well. Is it called foot? Foot. This is really annoying because I've got so many pieces. Right, they're a bit more separate. This switch has to be separate as well. On-off switch. But it's not fair that they're not in the same order here than here. It's just... my gears a little bit. Some of the stuff we can leave where it's going to be. So that'll give us some nice shadowing in some areas. Let's move this though. And if something looks a bit we'll go back and we'll look what we can do to change it so it doesn't look a bit technical term keyboard. Right. We could have got rid of that as well. Bugger. Should probably do that. Let's save this. See, this is why I didn't want to do I turned off that reload transforms, because I've moved everything and now I want to change something. So when I export it and it does it automatically, it'll just put all those pieces I've just moved back together again. I'm like, oh, that'll just irk me because I'll have to move them all again. So it's really important that I turn that off. I don't know why it's on by default. It's just the most annoying feature. So I'll put that out there. Let's get rid of this piece, and then we have to repack our UV as well. Go. Need to select it, delete it. Close. Okay. I'm nodding my head. Don't want to do that again, please. Please let that be okay. It's the low poly, isn't it? And we want the high poly. We want to get rid of this in the high poly. Is it on a modifier? It is. Select them all. No file, export, FBX, high poly. I think it will just take a little bit. Yeah. Because the file size is much bigger, it's going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, there was a little loady thing. I'll just wait for that. Just need to stretch a little bit. I have really bad posture sometimes on this chair. I need to get a new chair, to be honest. I got one of those cool gaming chairs. I think the Secret Labs ones. But I've had it for years and it's a bit haggard now. I think that's the next thing I buy for my office. It's a very nice chair. I spent like most of the day on this damn thing. don't think it's very good for my posture, health, and everything else if I got a very horrible chair. Okay. I might have to separate all these other pieces, but let's just see how it goes without doing that. Oh, I should have got rid of that. Oh, it doesn't matter. Let's hope it doesn't matter. I'm going to change the cage. We'll just shrink the cage a bit as much as we can. See, as soon as we start seeing this kind of stuff, I want to grow it a bit. Otherwise that'll cause some errors. Okay, that looks good. That looks fine. Soften it slightly. I always put more samples than I need. And I do a 16-bit, but then it converts it back later on. Because sometimes when I bake, it have this horrible noise on it. And I don't know if that's my GPU doing that. We need to also go to normals. We have to flip the normal. Because that's where I think it's how DirectX works. If it's flipped Y. We're just going to bake the normal first. We've done it in 4K. Not bad. There we go. I don't think you noticed the difference, but you might have. There's a few more like extra. Yeah, that looks correct. Look at that. I said earlier there was like the smoothing down there. All right. God, sorry, just the smoothing down there's got like this horrible bowl effect, but it's actually like a hard line. And on our high poly, we have it as a hard line. So the normal map, you can keep that horrible smoothing on the low poly, and then the normal map will correct that, which it has here. This is the low poly now with the normal map applied to it, and it has that sharp edge, which is something I wanted. Yeah, that doesn't look buggered either, which is good. Oh, there's a little gap there. Why? Why? Attention to detail, man. Where is that? Okay, it's like... It is this one. I'm never getting in there properly, am I? Yeah, I can see it. I wonder why. Let the verts, let's go over here. Somewhere it might not be welded. It's welded there. I should just hide stuff so I can see what I'm doing, but I'm being a little lazy. I've got it. See, there's a gap there. Manage it last. Hopefully that hasn't screwed anything. There's another one here as well. Yep. I'm sure it'll be fine. You just need... What's up with that? Will we fix this thing? Ah, that's weird. Excuse me a second, guys. Just fix this stupid misbehaving geometry. Odd. Right, we'll just pray that that's okay. I did move a few verts, but I don't think it will make any issues. I just need to export the low poly again. There's a few errors. I think that's because it's not triangulated correctly. We can ignore that for now. that causes like a smoothing error later on, I'll just do like an automatic triangulate. That'll become apparent. If that issue does come up, we'll see. There's so many things that can go wrong along the way, and you don't notice them until like later down the road. But yeah, that should be all fixed now. We're just gonna rebake the normal map. Yeah, see, I knew something would break. That might be my UV. What is it? It looks fine. Ah. No. And a clue, actually. So strange. Aha. Found it. I need to fix the high poly there. For some reason, it's bulging outwards. Don't know why. Don't know why I've done that. See it? It's like a slight bulge. And goodness knows. Must have clicked the wrong thing, pressed the wrong thing, you know? Or accidentally... It's not even... Oh, I know why. I know why we've done that. It's just to fix something, wasn't it? Yeah, but you never know. Like, you could accidentally move a vert by accident. There's so many things that can go sideways. God, this is very hard to do like this. We only want these two bottoms, don't we? Yeah, I could have easily just selected the wrong thing and moved it slightly. It can happen. It can happen so easily. We've identified it. We've seen it. It's not too late. Because you're working so fast and there's so many bits that you overlook some stuff. You don't need to unpack it again if the number of verts change. Not always. It depends. I would. I mean, I know I like welded two verts together, but I don't think that's going to do anything. It's still going to have that separate island, like UV island. It might cause an error, which is why I checked it. I'll check it again, actually, just in case. It's on that little corner over here somewhere, isn't it? Right, that should be hopefully fixed once I bake again. Who's here? Look, it looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you dramatically move stuff, or if you weld stuff, you might need to repack. It just depends, like, it really just depends. Right, let's do this again. There we go. Oh, thank God. Right. Now let's see if... So now I'm going to select curvature and the ambient occlusion, because those two will be really useful when we start painting. If I had like all these other bits like on this side as well, you get this really nice soft shadows around stuff, which is really useful when painting. But I really wanted to save texture space more than anything. I wonder if I could just keep it in the high poly and then it just... Let's bake it first. Then I might have to do some trickery. Yeah, let's bake it first. And just see what it looks like. No, I don't know if it's going to work the way I'm thinking in my brain. But you see here how it's got like this really nice soft edges to it. But that's going to be absent over here because it's missing. And I'm wondering if I should just put it there in the high poly. See if that like retains the shadow on that bit. Because that does really look good. Let's try that. And if it doesn't work, then there's a nice little error there as well. I don't know what the hell that is. What's that coming from? Interesting. We'll figure that out in a bit. That's very strange. That's extremely strange. One step at a time. We're going to keep that there. I'm going to put that back. I'm going to put this one too. And I think this one. Mirror, mirror, mirror. And this one as well. On just the high poly. And it might bake all those shadows for us. If not, we'll just revert it back and maybe separate it to keep consistency. We'll see. Oh. Seemed like there was something wrong with my stream for a second. Never mind. It's fine. We're all good. Let's just see what happens. Okay. Let's bake it again. For the love of God. Okay. So now we've got that information there. What the hell that is, though? The only thing that's bothering me. To figure that out. That's really strange. Because it shouldn't be there. Or where it could be coming from. I'll have to check the UV on it. The worst part, when you find an error. Is there something overlapping it? Because that's what could be happening. Yeah, what is that? Why is that there? We could just move it into an empty space, can't we? I hope that's the only one. Funny. I was saying such good things about this packer. And it's not the greatest, is it? It's really good, though. Like the way it packs, but you have to watch out. You have to double check its work. Right. There we go. It's gone. It's gone. Thank God it's gone. Just having a quick glance over again. There's another error there as well. Oh, there's a horrendous error there. Oh, God. That's on this edge. Yeah, some stuff is for some reason overlapping. Don't ask me why. Go back there. Just scrutinize this a little bit carefully. Some here as well. I wonder if I just repack. There's an overlap check, so we can do that. Aha. Okay, that's quite useful. Sort of useful, I say. It's manual packing here. Beautiful manual packing. Just gonna move some stuff around. Oh, select again. Just make sure nothing is overlapping. That's what's causing all these errors. Because it's trying to project in the same space as something else. It's just kind of blech. Blends the two together. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. Alright, let's double check again. No overlap. Okay, good. Okay, that's useful. That's a super useful tool. Now let's export that. Okay, now the UVs have changed. We have to rebake. This should be it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. That's pretty good. Oh, the fun part now is putting it all together. So I have a complete model. So all the little switches and things in the right place, and chuck it in into Substance. Um, sort of thinking which way round I want to do it. Because if I have to re-UV it after I've made it, it's not going to be fun. I don't think I do. I think that's gonna cut it. That's gonna be good. It looks pretty sharp. We'll just have to see, won't we? So I'm gonna make a duplicate of everything. Make like an export folder. Put everything together. Now we need to like put all the elements where they need to go. Essentially. So we're going to put these legs back. And that's our bench. SM organ bench. Just get out of the way for a minute. I think this has an array on it. There we go. This needs a mirror. Gotta go. I have kitchen cabinets to assemble. Oh gosh, I've been there, man. Have fun painting. I'll see you later. No problem, man. Nice to have you around. It's always a pleasure, mate. Till next time, yeah? Enjoy your kitchen building. I've done that. I've been there. I built my kitchen in this house with my dad. That's the second kitchen I've built with him. I had another kitchen in my old house as well. Oh, it's just... I think the scariest part is like you have the countertop, and you cut like a hole where the sink needs to be, and you're carrying this really heavy countertop through the house, and it's got this really weak point in the middle where you've got this big hole, and it's like if it snaps, then that's going to go straight in the bin. It's completely useless. So it's just nerve-wracking, and I really don't like a router. They're so they're kind of scary. I don't think scary is the right word. It's just really loud, and yeah, I just wouldn't want to catch my finger in one of them. Maybe that's why it's kind of scary. Horrifying. Right, we're gonna just merge some of these pieces down to where we need to go. Is that also in the... Interesting. Oh, it doesn't matter, does it? We're here now. Sorry, I was just contemplating something very briefly. What have we got? Everything here. That can collapse down to it as well. Same with the top. And this thing, and that thing. And also this as well. And those pieces down there. You, and you. Right. The rest of the stuff needs to be built up now. Which is... oof. Be a little fun little jigsaw. We have this temporary folder, which I kept where all these pieces go. So that's somewhat going to help me in placing everything correctly. It's just like, where should we start? I say we start with these things because that looks quite fun. So we want to object. Oh, we want to copy it first, actually, and then we want to object snap selection to active, and we want to put it on the same rotation. So I've kept the rotations. I believe it's this one we need. Is it? Nothing rotated. Maybe you don't need that one. 36.6. What's this going to do? Oh, okay. It's just down here. Let's go the other direction. You'd think it needs to go in the other direction. I thought I was being clever. I was being really clever with that. Apparently not. I would just leave it there. I think it does need to move over just slightly. But we're going to do that by eye. That's good enough. Now I want to copy their array basically on this, which I've already got. Go in the wrong direction though. We want to go in the Z. The Z, the Z. I'm going to go the other way. That's good. We can get rid of this one. Because now we got that. Now we basically just want to do the same. I want to snap this. Oh, wrong button. I want to snap it. Selection to active. It's all right. We need another one of those. So we need 4. Do the same again. Object, snap, selection to active. See, it's good when you've if you put stuff into position, keep them to one side. If you're making just a single piece of it, it's going to be duplicated. If you've got them in the right places and the right positions, then it does help out in a moment like this, instead of doing it all over again, instead of doing double the work. I don't know how else to say. I do it multiple times. Ooh. Sorry, I heard the postman throw some stuff through the letterbox. Sounded like a lot. Slightly distracting. Right. What was I saying? Yeah. If you do put stuff in positions, I usually just keep them, and I don't reset the transforms on them, so I keep all the rotational values of them. It helps. It really does. But these ones are slightly incorrect, which is going to really annoy me. Something's 1.5 here. Oops. On 0. Okay, so we need to go across 1.5. Thanks for all the knowledge. Is this your full-time job? Yeah, it is. It is. I 100% live off of the revenue from Unreal Marketplace. I started this business with my friend, actually, who we worked on a game together, and that sort of fizzled out in the end. And we were just like, well, what do we want to do next? We can't find a stable job in the industry, So I said, people making money off this Unreal Marketplace. We buy stuff off this Unreal Marketplace as well for our game. Why don't we just build up a library there and earn off it? Surely you can make enough money that you can live off. And I read some stories somewhere where people do get success there, and they do. They do make enough money so they can live off it. And so we tried it out, but it did take us a very long time to get to a point where you're like, I'm financially stable. Because you're making stuff that's not earning money. You're only earning money off the stuff you've already made and it's already out there. And then it has to be good. And then you have to hope that that people keep buying it. It's kind of scary. So I don't recommend it for everybody. But I'm just fortunate enough that this is my full-time job. I have my own business doing this. I just love working at home, and I just love being my own boss, to be honest. It's just so... It's not for everybody, though. I 100% think that it's just not for everybody. Because it just really isn't. I don't know how else to explain. Now, why have I done it like that? How have I done this one? But yeah, it's my full-time job. It's an awesome job. I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing. Still trying to learn that. Yeah, come on, got this. Perfect. I think I need to like raise it slightly, or is it lower slightly? There's something up with that that's not right, is there? This isn't it? It's going the wrong direction. There you go. Sorted. Super. Fantastic. All the hard work pays off in the end. Yeah, it does. I mean, there's definitely points early on where I was like, this is just not going to work out. This is just, you know, I spent all my savings on just retaining us and keeping us alive. And when you got bills to pay and stuff, it's not fun. This is why I say to people, when people say like, oh, should I do it? Should I do what you did? And I say to them, no, because unless you've got if you got some cash you don't mind burning or don't mind losing, it's a gamble in the end. It's a bit, every business venture is a gamble. It's like you have to put all this up forward capital before you see a penny from it, and you and then you might fail, and all that's gone. Whereas if you have a job from a big company or something, you've got a piece of paper that says you're going to get paid this month, and everything's going to be great, and you've got all these protections, like they can't fire you straight away or whatever. You know, you've got redundancy packages and whatnot. You've got some sort of level of protection. Whereas in this, it's like, oh, I didn't sell any this month, therefore I'm not going to be able to afford things. And for a long time when I first started, I was like, you know, that's really daunting. That's really scary. But I don't know. I kept at it and chipped away at it. And you know, once we released the houses pack, and it's sort of just it started doing really well. And you know, we built up like a nice portfolio of stuff. It kind of eased that pain a bit more, and became something that's, you know, that's actually viable. Yeah, don't recommend it, but it worked out for me. I don't know how long this is going to last either. I'm just trying to... You'd hope that this is going to be it forever. But it's like that with any job, isn't it? I don't know. You think, I got this new job, and I'm, you know, and you're looking at the state of the industry now. How many layoffs have happened in, you know, in some big profile studios. And it kind of makes me think, it's like, oh, I could have had a job in the industry. I could have moved to Birmingham or Manchester or London or something, and you know, everything would have been all right. I would have had a stable, you know, I could have had a career and a job there. But you know, next year they could be like, oh, you know, you've done good and we don't need you anymore. Can happen. It does happen often, more often in games than any other job. So it's risking everything. But with this, it's like I get to sit and stay. I don't have to pick up my life and move to a new city or anything. You know, having a remote job is really nice. I don't know if anybody's seen it. I've built a computer. I mean, the computer that I use now is I think it's like an ITX mini case PC. I think it's the Dan H2O one. and I built it at the beginning of this year with the intention of essentially cutting the cord, and I could be anywhere with electricity and internet, and I can put it in a suitcase and take it wherever I want. So I've been traveling a little bit this year with my work, which is really nice. I should be taking it next to, because my folks now live in Italy, back to the motherland. So I'll be taking my computer to Italy in December. I'm going to stay out there for 3 weeks. Get away from some of this British weather. Actually, today looks really nice. I'm looking out the window now and it's sunny. It's a really beautiful day. It's not like that all the time, though. I guess the longer that you're in the marketplace, the better stability is, right? Relying on sales of 10 packs versus 2, for example. Yeah, I mean, exactly my point. If you've got like a huge library, you think about all these ones like Decagon and some of the other big marketplace sellers. They have hundreds of packs. I have 10. And you think, you know, they must be making bank. But it's not just about how much you've got. It's also about the quality as well. Is someone going to use this? How reusable is this? How, you know, does someone want this in the first place? Because you could have like 1 or 2 things, and if it's like really reusable, then that could just be your bread and butter. I'm sure the guy who made the sky pack, I can't remember what it's called. There's a really good one with like the weather and time of day and stuff. Ooh, what is it called? I'm sure I know it. But my point being is, I bet that dude is just living off that ultra dynamic sky. See, I didn't even need to. I just had to describe it, and Andy wrote in the chat, ultra dynamic sky. He knows it. Everybody knows it. How many people do you think have just gone, I hate doing lighting on Unreal Engine, and just bought that? It is the pack that everyone should get. And that guy's probably making a living off just that one pack. It's crazy. So it's not always just about how much you've got. It's about the quality and the need for it as well. There's a few other ones I can think off my head, like, that I'd look at and be like, you know, I bet a lot of people use this. Like the Ninja Smoke one, whatever it's called. There's definitely one I bought, which is like this cable one, where you can just do like splines and does like physicalized cables, and you can freeze them and then make them into a mesh. It's like, that's so cool, that one. I use that for a lot of power lines and stuff. Yeah, a lot of these plugins that make like your life so much easier, they're really nice, and I bet the guys who make those are just are really happy. Some really good ones. I think, like, yeah, ultra. See, even Septic Falcon's like, oh, ultra dynamic sky. It's a lifesaver. It is. I would probably assume that's one of the most popular packs. It's just so good. It is so good. I can't use it, you know. I can't use it in these packs because I eventually have to package it and sell it on the marketplace. So I have to make my own lighting. I have to do my own stuff. Which is kind of, yeah, I mean, you say it's kind of annoying and whatever, but I'm not the best lighting artist. That thing's just so good. I'm kind of fanboying over this ever a plugin. It's just hilarious. Right, we'll get this up here now. It's up here. I'm gonna have to build a keyboard as well, which is gonna be fun. A music keyboard, not a computer keyboard. Got all those buttons, we've got all these buttons. Rich can collapse, collapse. Need to put that there as well, don't we? This is... Oh, we got it. We got it without hiding it. We need to hide this though, I can't really see. Where is it? There it is. Should probably name that so I don't get confused. Call it SM organ. Where's the temp one of that? Keyboard wood, that's it. So we can just merge all this to the organ. Same with them. I do use these naming conventions as well. So SM, as in static mesh underscore organ. It's, you have to, when you submit a pack onto Unreal Engine, you have to follow some guidelines like folder structures and things. So you do have to like label stuff. So meshes will usually be SM. Textures are like T underscore. There's like a few things like that you need to adhere to, otherwise you fail the certification. And I've never passed certification first time. Never. When I submit a pack on Unreal Engine, I've never passed it first time. So you know, sometimes it takes a couple attempts. There'll always be like when you've got like a pack of 500 objects and then like another few hundred textures and stuff, you'll miss something. You'll definitely miss something. Right. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'll build this keyboard in a second. I am just going to take a quick break. I'm going to just go grab a cup of coffee. I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to be right back, and we're going to build this keyboard using these two keys here and then place them into position. And I think that's, no, it's not the last thing on the list. There's also this thing here. So it's just two more things. And then we've got a complete model. We should also have to collapse those as well. Right, I'll be back in a couple minutes. I'm just gonna put you on my little be right back screen. I look very professional with that. Right, 2 seconds guys, and I'll let you know when I'm back. Hello, hello. Right. We are back. A nice cup of coffee. I'll let it cool down a bit. Some important letters came in today. I'll have to look at those later. Right. What are we doing? Making the keyboard. To array all these. Easy. One more. Interesting, looks like. We'll fix that later. Need this key, but it skips a couple of them. They're not even perfectly centered as well. They need to be perfectly centered, don't they? That's better. We'll do like an array, and we'll just delete the ones we don't need. That makes sense. We'll do it all across. And then we'll collapse it, and then delete the ones we don't need. It does mean I need to get it perfect, if I can. That doesn't look even central to me. Though apparently it is. Oh, the trick of the eye. Like, my eyes are playing tricks on me. Bit more. Bit more. It's more or less there. Maybe just put it a little bit more over. Too much. 795. 25. 3. 4. That looks fine. That looks fine. That's okay. Collapse that down. Collapse that down. Collapse that together. I'm going to slightly squidge it with a lettuce. So everything's like in between the space perfectly. It doesn't matter that I've squished it slightly. You would never notice that. That's our complete keyboard that's UV'd and baked. We now need to place the other two, which is a fun job in itself. I don't have this on the right thing. I need it on closest, not center. Delete that one. Oh, no, we can't actually. Keep it for a second. Nope, we don't want that one. We want this one again. Let me just put this into place. You know, I could get rid of the temporary one. Sweet. No. Before we do, need to delete the keys, which I should have done first. That's not how a keyboard looks. Whoops. We want to get rid of the third one. Get rid of, so 1, 2, 3. We want to get rid of that one. And then another 2. We'll get rid of that one. Then another 3. Get rid of that one. And then another 2. I wonder if this is even correct. It looks correct, but I'm not a musician. It's almost like I'm missing one. No. Yes. No. 2, 3, 2, 3. My eyes. 2, then 3, then 2, then 3. But I've added. Interesting. Tell you what. Think someone will care? Think someone will moan at me for that? Maybe. Or we just really bother them. I think you find there's another key on the Organ Master 12. Shh. Be our little secret. It's our little secret. It's your world. No one will notice. We'll stop talking about how many keys are supposed to be on an organ. Alright, let's mirror this the other way. Still need to put these labels above them as well. Oh, God. And then I need to put... I need to just... think. We need this. I think these have... labels above them. Let me just find my little reference of that. Organ reference. Yeah. So we're going to put that above that as part of this object so I can have it. So we combine these two elements together. So when I put this into position, we'll have that attached to it. So this and this, I'll snap selection to active. And now I need to get the right angles on this, which is probably the same as this here. Hopefully, yes. Thank God. 5. What's the other one? Some obscure number. It's probably best left as 0, but I'll just keep it as that. Now we need to put an array on it. So, array. It's going to be exactly the same as this one. 0. How many pieces are long? 6 on this. 6. And then this. Okay. They're literally just copying these. I'm sure there's a way of just like copying them over like from here to there, but I don't think I've ever found it. So we want that, but then we want also this. Ooh, that's it. Okay. The height is different because we've added this label. That's why it's higher than, with the same value, that's why it's higher. Because it goes off of the bounding box of it. Let's put it more or less in the same position. I need to rotate it slightly so it's not sunk in there. Just hope that it's all okay. Just doing it by eye. Just making sure that we've made contact. I think we need to move in by a couple. I don't know which direction this goes. Oh no, I think we're on it. Yes, we're on it. It's fine to do stuff by eye sometimes. You know, no point in trying to get it absolutely perfect. Sometimes it's just fine. Right, there we go. Then we need to mirror it to the other end. This way. Yes. Aha. Cool. Really cool. Collapse that one. We can also... We've already collapsed that one, so we can join that. This switch can join as well. That can join. What's not joined on here? That's slightly floating, isn't it? Is it? What's going on there? Or is there a bottom missing on that? Oh no. Instead of doing extra work. Why is there a bottom missing on that? That's so stupid. I must have made a mistake there. Oh, that's really annoying. Instead of doing extra work for this, I'm just going to map it to something else. So we've got loads of like wood on the top. Missing a whole face here. I cannot believe it. So what we'll do is we'll just select that bit where it's missing. Go to UV edit. Select it, unwrap it. Move it to the side. Then select everything. And I want to know where this is there. And what we're going to do is, because that's going to be essentially the same wood as this, I can just bit in that space. So then whatever texture I use on top of here will also be used under here. You're not going to see it if it's not perfect, but you'll see it if it's not there. If that makes sense. So let's put it, say there. God, rookie mistake. See how you can make it? It's so easy to just make mistakes, so you have to correct them. And I don't want to go back 10 steps to go correct that in a way that probably won't make any difference. You know? I'm not going to save UV space for a little bit under there. And I'm not going to go back 10 spaces and waste like half an hour doing that. It's like, let's move on. Oh, that's much better drinking this coffee. This is a groovy tune. I'm listening to like streamer friendly music because I know there's lots of copyright strikes and actions that can happen. So, you know, normally I'd listen to like podcasts or soundtracks or, you know, anything really. So I hope the tunes are okay. It's much better than me being like having a silent background. Need some sort of ambient music. This sounds groovy though. Whatever this is. I'm largely ignoring the music. I've got like because I need to hear my own voice when I'm talking. I have like one ear out of my ear cuffs. Right, we're just gonna put the label here because they've got to go above. I believe it goes above all these. Let's just double check the reference. So you've got 3 there, 2 there for some reason. I think that's it. Let's put it a little higher. Go array. Something like that. Probably just do the same for the other side. Missing the feet as well. I've got to put those on. Mirror. Stick the feet on too. Which means I have to get my plane back. Probably, actually. And make sure it's all on the ground. Yeah, it should be. Just put that sort of central. We need some on the bench as well, so we get the bench back out here. Just put them sort of central. Go here. Go here. Combine those. I'm gonna mirror it again. We do the same up here. Mirror, mirror, mirror. I think we've got it. We can hide all the rest of the junk here. Oh, and this one too. Wow, that took a lot of time. For the substance scene, I'm just going to move the bench to the side. And then I'm going to export this. So file, export FBX. I think we want to call this organ substance. I export that. Okay. Oh, God, that's it's knocked my whole morning. We need to open Substance Painter. We should close some of these because I have very limited RAM memory. I don't think streaming takes that much RAM. I haven't a clue. I haven't a clue if it does or does not. Now we're just going to have to hope and pray that all the elements now come together and look good. So we put organ substance in, open, and then we need to put the maps that we baked. Oops, here. So ambient occlusion, the curvature, and the normal. I'm going to open that into substance as well. Ah, whoops. I've got that stupid material on there, which I'm going to remove. So let's do that step again. Blender has a habit of like creating new materials when you duplicate something, which I find really annoying. So I have this thing here, which is called material cleaner, and you can just merge them by name because it like does a number after each one, and you can just put them back together. But we don't want any material on it because it's just we'll just use a default material because it's only got one material because we've got one texture, well one UV essentially, and we don't need to separate any elements. Not for this mesh anyway. Sometimes you will want to separate elements for if you want to add two different shaders to the same mesh. So like an emissive and just like a normal one. In this case, we don't need it. So do the same step again, go new, and then we're going to open up our substance scene, which I exported, and then we're going to add the baked maps from Marmoset. Click OK. We don't need to save this one. There we go. Now it's default material. And there is our organ in substance. But now we need to add. So go texture set settings. Need to add the normal map, then the ambient occlusion, and then the curvature. And we need to go to baked maps. We need to unselect. Go to unselect this. We don't need the normal because we've got one. We don't need an ID. I might need an ID at some point. Actually, I might need to make an ID. I've only just remembered something. Because on these, which should be there, we can see them. Oh, it's like all decimated actually. There's like these circles on them. I might have to increase the resolution on that as well. I can't. To leave it. I wonder how that will pop. I wonder how that will work. Should have thought about this earlier, shouldn't I? They're there, aren't they, or something? No, it's not them. Anyway, we won't worry about it now. Anyway, we need to uncheck them. Uncheck that, uncheck that. Need to bake the selected textures. Should have put more resolution into them, to be honest. I think they'll turn out pretty naff, which is kind of annoying. Sweet. Excuse me. So now we have all our maps baked. We're ready to like throw on some materials. I do want to just see what these things look like down here. I'm gonna isolate them. So they're like a chrome almost. So I don't know what metal I have for that. Like a clear aluminium will do. Or actually chrome. Yeah, they look a bit shitty. I wonder if that won't matter. So I put a black mask on to isolate these pieces. This is, I don't know what to call them. I honestly don't know what to call them. They've got like a red, like velvety thing around them as well, which we'll have to isolate. I like to just chuck on some base materials. So I'll get each element, I'll put all the base materials on them, and then from there just start building and working, putting scratches and dirt and everything else on them. Just let me drink my coffee first. So we just chuck all the wood down. We'll separate everything into their own element, what they need to be, what kind of material they are, what needs to be separated, what doesn't need to be separated, and just work from there, and then just build it up slowly. I wonder if it's worth me baking in ambient occlusion in this tool. I think it's worth it. I think it's fine. So we can do like wood, and it doesn't really matter at this point if we can change the material afterwards. I just want something that's basic and something that kind of looks like it for now, and if I don't like it later on, I can just change it. We'll have like a base material of it, and if I hate it, I don't like the color, I need to adjust it, I'll adjust it after the fact. So we can just put this wood on for now. Everything's covered in wood. It's pretty gnarly, to be honest. It looks really ugh. So I'd have to adjust like the tiling of it, or like it's using a height. We can just like lower the height on it. I don't like how glossy it is, so we can just fix up the glossiness. I don't really like the color. We can change the color to something that's more. It's sort of similar, but we can change it to something that is like it. It's a bit gross. Not really fond of this wood texture, but we'll leave it for now. I just kind of want the grain in the right direction is one thing. If we change it to, instead of tiling, like UV projection, we don't want it on that. We put it on like triplanar, sorry. Everything goes in the same direction now based on the viewing angle rather than the UV space. But some parts, you know, they need to be one way, some parts need to be the other way. Like the grain here probably wants to go horizontal. The grain here probably wants to go vertical. So I have to separate them by that as well. I think it needs to be tiled a bit more. Let's find a better material as well. It's just pretty... Ugh. Ick. Ick's a word. It's pretty gross. So is that. Ooh, do not use this rifle stock one either. Teak is kind of like a teak, isn't it? I think the grain needs to be a bit finer. 4, let's see, 8. Let's put this rotation on 90. I think most things need to be this direction. This most definitely doesn't. Ooh, yeah, let's save it first. Not ceiling lamps, let's save it on organ. Right, bear with me a second. Oh. Sorry, I'm drinking this coffee before it goes too cold. Ah, bloody hell. Where to begin with this thing? I think that looks more like it. It has like all this very, well, it's very high variation in color. You know, if I can't find a really nice material for this, I'll go on to the Substance Painter website. Tropical hardwood, that looks looks gross. This one looks kind of good. Actually, yeah. Let's put the height back in it. It's not using height, it's using a normal. Maybe not tiled as much. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm happier with this. Can I change the color? Oh, not really. These presets are just gut. More, yeah, there it is. Hopefully we don't get any freezes and hiccups now, because it can be quite demanding and heavy. There's a high color variation in this, so I wonder if we eke that out a bit. Right, I think we'll start with that. We'll start with that, and then we'll come back to it. I just need to mark out where it needs to be first. Now I need to concentrate. I need to think. We need to put them in the right direction. Oh. Right. I'll do this for another about half an hour, then I'll go for some lunch, and we'll call it a stream. Is it Friday today? It's Friday today. So I guess I'll have to see you all Monday, won't I? Have I got anything going on Monday? I don't think so. So I'll most definitely be back Monday. Right, we'll select all the bits that are made of wood. Which is all these pieces, plus this, and this, and this. I think the pedals are made of a different material, like these bits, but so we won't highlight those, we'll just highlight these elements. Okay, so we'll call this wood 1. Now we need to the direction of the grain. So we'll add a black mask, and we'll put everything back on this one. So maybe I'll just duplicate this black mask here. It's a copy mask, and then we'll paste it into here. And then anything that's in the wrong direction we'll remove from the mask. So I want to buy UV actually. So there, we can leave the top. Just anything that's in the wrong direction. I think that should be going this direction. Oh, and same there, and this too. This should be going the other direction. This skirt as well needs to be going the other direction. And the back. That's fine. This is not. That's fine. That's also got to change. This one's got to change. Yeah, and that too. That's fine. Oh. We forgot to select all of this. And unselect that. Okay. This bit needs to change, so let's do it by element. This strip here is going the wrong direction as well. So what's going to happen is once I've selected everything that needs to flip its direction, we'll copy the same material, we'll invert the mask, and then rotate the material, and then we should have everything in its correct orientation. I think all of these need to go the other way. That too. That as well. This and this. Good. This. And also this. And this as well. Almost there. It's the process of like elimination. You only really do this, I only really do this with wood. Just because the way the grain should be going. That's got to go the other way, isn't it? Yeah, may as well do that whole thing there. Right. I think I've got everything that I wanted to get. I don't know why that one's fine. That should be like that. This one at the bottom. Good. We've forgotten this in the wood. I don't know why that's not. It's weird. There you go. Oh, I see. God, sometimes it just hates doing it. There we go. We got it. We got it. It's fine. This at the back can go. That. Is that part of the same UV? That's a bit. No, it shouldn't be. that should be the other way as well. Looks about right. Sweet. Okay, I think I've got it now. So we can duplicate the wood, call it wood 2, and then invert the mask. And then rotate it. Haha. Now the grain's going in the correct directions. We can offset it slightly if we want. I think that's going the wrong way though. Fix that easy. Might be the same on the other side. Cool. Once we add like a layer of like, see, I don't really like how that's repeating there, so we have to like separate those two. Yeah, that's just horrendous. Look how horrible that looks. So you got like this knot in the wood that comes all the way through, and it really shows. We can, because they're separately UV'd, we can tweak that, but I'd have to separate them as well. Not fun. Fun thing to do. So tell you what, we'll do it though. So we'll get rid of that. That one can stay. That one can go. Oh no, we have to do this like per bit, aren't we? We'll get rid of all of them. By element. Like wood 3, we can remove. Oh no, we can clear the mask. Now let's remove mask and then add the mask again. Remove that. And that. Hey, come on. Stop playing with me. I'm going to put this in its own folder because it's going to get messy. So we can select that wood now. I wonder if we just UV project it for this, and hopefully they're all in the right direction. We'll see. No, some of them aren't. A little bit of a nuisance. But we can fix that. Literally do the same technique. I'm going to add the black mask for this. We're going to do that again. I'm going to select our wood. We're going to remove the ones that go in the wrong direction by UV. So that's correct, that's incorrect. Incorrect there. That's incorrect, that's incorrect. then what we'll do is we're just doing exactly the same thing, but we're doing it by UV instead of triplanar, so we don't get any repetition really. I double check the bottom as well. So we'll have the grain in the right directions for them, but they'll all look a little bit different. Hopefully that's what I hope is going to happen. So we invert it and then we flip it. There we go. Now we don't have that repetition. That was easy. We don't have that repetition anymore. So it doesn't really destroy the look. That's really nice. So that's our wood. I might put something different on the back. A different wood, like a chipboard or something. Because you wouldn't think it's made out of solid wood at the back. You'd think it's like a chipboard or that's missing a face as well. Fix that later. Yeah, you'd imagine that's like a chipboard rather than a solid wood. On this one, so we're going to remove it from this one. And on the bottom as well, I'd say. If it'll let me. It's probably on here, that's why. Yeah, I was correct. Well, let's change that to a chipboard. I think I have a chipboard. What is it? MDF. Maybe an MDF. Got a black mask on it. We want it here and here. Put that below everything just in case. There you go. Just some basic materials just being thrown on. Nothing fancy yet. No scratches, no granular detail yet. Just literally just getting everything on it. So we can get an overall impression of color and the types of textures each bit are, and then have everything completely organized so when we go back on them and start tweaking them, it's just a lot easier. Get rid of this one. Do it by face. Then we need to add it back here. Same with that. Oops. I don't really like the face selection in this. Sometimes it's a bit temperamental, or it's select things that you don't want to select. Like under here, I didn't select that, but it's done it. Need that back. There you go. Again. So you have to watch out when you select like faces and things with like the black mask. Sometimes it could select something that's behind it, and it's like totally unintentional. Just very annoying. Look, it's done that again. Oh god. Okay, it's fine now. Stop touching it. Kind of looks like it, color-wise. Obviously, we need to add like some stain to it, and that can be done utilizing like the curvature and things. So we'll add like a color to make it darker in some areas. But like I said, we'll just do that. We'll build it up. We'll layer it afterwards. We're just starting out with getting everything down first. And then just detail and detail, then detail, then detail. Until we're happy with it. And we do want to jump it back and forth between the engine, just to make sure. Should actually put this in engine. What are we calling this? T-organ. Should just throw it in Unreal Engine just to double check it before going a bit more depth. I need to find my folder. Church, organ. We'll make a new folder called export. I need to select my preset. This literally just packs the textures how I use them in Unreal. So we like the roughness, the metal, and they're in like one map, and then yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. I'll have to show you when I actually export it. Because there's a lot of different maps here, like you know, your normal, your roughness, your metallic, obviously just the color. And we need to pack them in such a way that the shaders that we have in Unreal Engine actually read them. So I've got a preset for that in Substance. So every time I export, they're packed correctly, essentially. Right. What we need to do is we need to set the origin of this to. Oh, go back. Stop it. Need to export these models now. So we want this in the center of the scene. I might trip out slightly because there's a lot of stuff open. Right, and we want that's already central. Export FBX. Export. We want to name it correctly. We want to do the same for this. SM organ. Go my Unreal scene, which is probably going to run really slow because I've got Substance open. So let's close one first, so it's not a horrible viewing experience. I think this thing is in my yes. Let's get the export. Just gonna import these in. Let it compute. Ooh, I should have just done an import all. There she is. I know it's a bit dark out here in here, even. I wonder if we could just grab a light just to put next to it. Just so we can see. Get rid of this model now. Actually, I kind of want to keep that there so I can just put them two together. Organ, I've got the bench, which I'm going to put into place as well. put it like that. Maybe we just... Nothing's perfectly straight, is it? There we go. Now I need to make a material for it, so I can throw the textures on there. And I'm doing this now because stuff that looks fine in Substance might look a little bit different in Unreal Engine because the lighting setup's a bit different. The way that the materials react are a little bit different. I know there's a way of like you can have it almost one-to-one in each one, but I just do like to jump back and forth with it and double check that how it looks in Unreal Engine is you know, appropriate, because sometimes it just looks different and I don't like that. I need to like make sure like colors look a little different, the saturation of them and stuff, and yeah. Right, we need a new folder here for textures, don't we? Call it organ. And we need our texture maps that we exported. And we need to make sure the RMA is set to masks, because there are masks. I think everything else should be okay by default. We also need to create a material. So I'm going to make a new folder in the materials folder, call it organ. And then we're going to go and create our material instance. So material instance, so MI for material instance, organ. Going to open that up. And then we're going to find our parent, which is our main shader for most objects, which is our general shader, which is pretty simplistic. Literally just going to house our textures in there. I'm just going to search for it actually here. Yeah, and then show it in the content browser. Now I can just chuck it in there. There. We can open this. Put that on. Put that on there. Looks very boring right now because it's not finished, but it's essentially what it's going to look like. It's going to look a lot better once we finish texturing it and have all those other granular details on it. Right now it looks kind of plain. And my textures are popping in and out. It's not fun. Resolution-wise, it's not horrendous. I feel like we could have done better. But I don't think it's too bad. I do notice a smoothing error, which I do need to correct. There is that missing polygon on the back. Polygon, triangle, face, whatever you like to say. Neat. Pretty neat. What's the light in the dark? Boring. We have to make it come to life with the texture. Right, what are we where are we going? We'll save that now. I think we'll go back to Substance and we'll come back here later and double check our work. I do need to fix some things on this model, which can be done. I don't think it looks too bad. Once the textures are actually good, I'll be happier. Right now I'm not so happy with it, but I'd say like a lot of the detail work does just come to life when you textured it. That's the organ. Yeah. So I'm going to continue doing this. after lunch, I'm going to organize all the, like I've just done with the wood, I'm going to do the same with the pull handles, the switches, the keys, the buttons, the pedals here, and all the other details, all the other separate elements, and generally clean up the mesh and stuff. I just don't like that. I think that's the wrong direction as well. That needs to change. That is. Let's change that quickly now. It's really irking me. Irking me, is that a word? Annoying. Now, who has that? It's this one, isn't it? No? It's this one. That's better. Notice another gap as well I need to fix. Crazy how you see it so late on. We're just going to fudge those though. Literally by just dragging it slightly. That little tiny bit there, you won't notice it in any stretching in the texture. Or it would just be minimal. I think the grain on the top should go the other way as well. Let's do it by UV. That feels nicer to me. Yeah. So I'll continue putting these base materials down after lunch. I don't know if I'm going to come back on the stream and do that, or come back Monday with it with you guys and pretty much take off where I left off. Is that the right way of saying it? I don't think so. I'll continue where I left off when we come back on Monday, because it is Friday today, so everyone's gonna have a great weekend, right? I mean, I don't think I have much planned this weekend. I think my friend wanted to go do some sort of activity on Saturday, but yeah, I think I do want to start really getting into. I'm playing the RoboCop game at the moment, mainly because of the Unreal Engine 5 implementation. It's absolutely stunning. I can't. It's so good. Like how good that game looks. That's what I'm doing at the moment, though. Oh, that's wrong. Sorry, just fixing something I just noticed. Yeah, totally recommend that game. The last game I played as well before that was Alan Wake 2, which was sick. It's kind of slower pace game, but it's really nice to look at. I am playing these in my living room on my PS5. I'm not using my PC at the moment for gaming, even though I totally could. I've got lots of PC games to catch up on. Yeah, maybe we'll talk about the games we're playing on Monday and some of the experiences we're getting with them. It's nice to break up the conversation a little bit more than me just rambling about technical details and texturing and modeling. So anyway, we'll call it there. I'm gonna get some lunch, and you enjoy your Friday night and your weekend, and hopefully we see each other on Monday. As a reminder, all of our packs, all the Prop House packs on Unreal Marketplace are 30% off till December 3rd. So if you want any of them, get them now, because I rarely do sales, and this is going to be the only sale I do, really. Oh, I've just noticed something. They're missing those labels I put on there. Yeah, get them now, because it's the only time I'm going to do a sale. I don't normally do sales, so I usually just, that's it. This is the Black Friday one. It's the only one I'm doing, probably. But we'll see. Don't hold my word to that. And also, if you want to see when I go live. I usually post on Twitter when I go live. I don't think there's a way of posting on YouTube to warn people that I'm going live. But yeah, have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you Monday. Thanks for the stream, dude. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Andy, for coming back. Actually, it's really nice to see you in here again. Actually, as for everybody who's been in today and chatted. Yeah, when I do these things, just ask me anything, and if you want me to show you something, you know, I'll show you. Or if you have some weird technical question, and if you think I can answer it, I'll try answer it. Because why the hell not? You can pick my brain while I'm here. So yeah, cool. Enjoy your weekend. Have a nice Friday night, and see you on Monday. And let's put the end screen on, huh? Take care, guys. Peace.